Students, now we start with the exercise 4D. Look at the first question. They say students from 128 schools took part in a speed math competition. Each school sent 62 students, and if each student answered 35 questions, how many answers were to be checked? So, what they have said is there are total number of schools. There was a speed maths competition, and in that 128 schools participated. How many schools? 128 schools. And from every school, from one school, there were 62 students, and all the children whoever participated, they each answered, means one student, every one student answered 35 questions. So they are asking you how many answers were to be checked. So in to find out the solution of this question, first of all I will find out how many total number of students participated in the competition. कितने बच्चों ने competition में participate किया. Like there were 128 schools, and from one school there were 62 students. It means from one school there were 62 students. So how many students were there in 128 schools? So 128 I will multiply with 62. When I have to find about more, what we do? We multiply. So when you will multiply, you will get 7936 students. So these many students, so you have to multiply these two numbers and you will get this answer. So these many students participated in the competition from 128 schools. Now we know the total number of students who participated in the competition. Now they are saying that one student, if one student answers, how many questions he answers? He answers 35 questions. एक स्टूडेंट जो है वो 35 क्वेश्चंस आंसर करता है. इट मीन्स हाउ मेनी टोटल नंबर ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स वर देयर? 7936. So I have to find out how many answers. 7,936 students will answer, which the examiner has to check. So what again I will do? Again, because I know about one student and I have to find about 7,936 students. So again I will multiply 7936 multiply by 35, and what you will get? You will get the answer this. So it means these many questions were answered by 7,936 students. So one student answers 35 questions. So 7,936 students will answer these many questions. 2,77,760. It means the examiner has to check so these many answers. So first you multiply 128 with 62 to get the total number of students who participated in the competition, and if one student has answered 35 questions, then again you have to find out how many answers these many students have answered. So again you multiply. So twice you multiply in this question to get the answer. Now the second question, they say to buy a flat a man paid rupees 47,250 every month, and he paid for 6 years. How much did he pay in all? So what they are saying is that a man used to pay 47,250 every month to in order to buy a flat, and he paid this much money for 6 years. So every month he was paying around 47,000, and he paid this much money for 6 years. So they are asking you how much money did he pay in all. So 6 सालों में, in 6 years, how much money he has paid. Now look at this. So money paid for 1 month is 47,250, and I have to find out the money he paid in 6 years. Now they have told you about 1 month and they are asking you about years. So I will make this units same, means I will convert this years into months. I will convert 6 years into months. So what I will say is, like, in 1 year, how many months are there? In 1 year there are 12 months. You know that: January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November and December. So in 1 year there are 12 months, and we have to find about 6 years. In 6 years, how many months are there? So 12 into 6 is 72 years, means 72 months. It means 72 months are there in 6 years. So now they have told you about 1 month, and about how many months I have to find out. I have to find about 72 months. 72 months is equal to 6 years. So months I have, this years I have converted into months, so that these units are same. Month and month are same. So they have told you about 1 month, and we have to find about 72. So when we know about one and we have to find about more, what we do? We multiply. So you multiply both the numbers and you will get the answer. Okay. Now we start with the third question. They say the product of a number and 165 is 1,20,450. Find the number. Okay. Now they are saying the product. Now what is a product? Now when we multiply two numbers, like if I multiply 3 and 4, when we multiply two numbers, what we get, the answer that we get, that is called product. What is that called? That is called product. So product is the answer that we get when we multiply two numbers. Okay. Now they say that the product of 165 and a number, एक number है, we don't know that number, and 165. If I multiply 165 with that number which I don't know, the product is this. Product, I told you, it's the answer that we get when we multiply two numbers. So the answer that we will get is 1,20,450, and they're asking you to find this number. So in order to find this number, what I will do, because here it is multiply, so what I'll do, I'll divide these two numbers. This is a bigger number, so 1,20,450 I will divide with 165. So you divide these two numbers and you will get the number. So 450, if you divide with 165, 7s are and 3 is 495, and this 0, so 730. So what is the second number they are asking for? The second number is 730. So if you will multiply 165 with 730, you will get the answer 1,20,450. So what we have to do, we will divide these two numbers and we will get the answer. Now in your previous class we have done the multiplication facts. Do you remember that? We have done the division facts. Like if you multiply two numbers, like 2 3s are 6. Okay, so what are division facts? Like if you will divide these two numbers, if you divide 6, this number is always becomes a dividend. 6, if you multiply 6 with 3, you will get 2. Okay, and if you will divide 6 with 2, you will get this number. So these are division facts. So the same, if you divide this number with this, you will get this number, and if you will divide this with this, you will get this number. These are called division facts. You must have learned in your previous class. Look at the fourth question, A part. There are two parts in this question. Find the number which when divided by 256 gives 652 as quotient and no remainder. So they are asking you, find the number. We don't know the number. Find the number which when divided by 256, जिसको मैं divide करूँ 256 के साथ, I will get 642 as a quotient and there is no remainder. So in your previous exercise 4C, I told you, which is about the dividend, divisor and everything. Okay, so this first number is the dividend, and this number is what? It's a divisor. The first number is always the dividend. It means I have to find the dividend, which I don't know. 256 is the divisor and 652 is the quotient, and the remainder is 0. So this is quotient, this is divisor. According to the question, they are asking you to find the number. That means I have to find the dividend, and the divisor is 256, which is divided by 256, and 652 is the quotient. Now in your previous class also you must have read about the division algorithm. Do you remember when we do the sums of division, how do we check the sum of division? We have a rule for that, we have a formula for that. What is that? It says dividend is equal to divisor multiply by quotient plus remainder. We have done in the previous class. Like, how do we find dividend? Dividend means divisor into quotient plus remainder. So according to this question, I have to find the dividend, and divisor is given 256 and quotient is 652 and remainder is 0. So I have to find the dividend. So how can I get? By multiplying these two numbers. 256, if you multiply with 652, you will get the dividend. So, and remainder is 0, so we don't have to add anything to this number. Simply by multiplying these two numbers you will get the answer. So when you will multiply, you will get this number. So this number is the dividend. So this number divided by 256 will give you the 652. So gives you the quotient 652. So how do we find? By using this rule. This is called division algorithm. This rule we use to find this dividend. And now if I come to the B part, the B part says find the dividend. Again, in the A part they had said find the number, and here they have used the word find the dividend. So they are saying find the dividend when the divisor is equal to 88, the quotient is equal to 2470, and the remainder is equal to 25. Okay, the B part they are saying find the dividend. It means I have to find the dividend. Dividend is inside the house. Okay, find the dividend when the divisor is 88, when the quotient is 2470, and the remainder is 25. Okay, so at the same question like the A part, in that the remainder was 0, but here the remainder is 25. So they are saying find the dividend when the divisor is 88, the quotient is 2470, and the remainder is 25. Again we will find this by using the rule. What is that rule? That dividend is equal to divisor multiply by quotient plus remainder. So this is the rule we always use to divide the sum of, to check the sum of division. So what is the divisor? The divisor is 88. What is the quotient? The quotient is 2470. And what is the remainder? The remainder is 25. So you have done the rule of Demas, okay, in the previous class. So we have multiply and we have plus. So what, according to the rule of Demas, what we will do first? We will multiply first. So 2470 you multiply with 88, and what you will get by multiplying with 88, you will get 217385, sorry, 217360 you will get. And when you will multiply these two numbers, and now to this number I have to add the remainder, so plus 25, and what you will get, you will get this answer. So 217385 is the dividend which they have asked. We come to the fifth question. In the fifth question, A part, you can see it's written, the price of a book is rupees 364. What is the price of 245 such books? So in the question, they have given the price of a book. A book means one book. So they have given you the price of one book, that is rupees 364, and they are asking you the price of 245 books. So we have learned that if one price is given of one thing and we have to find about more, एक का बताया है, ज़्यादा का ढूंढना है, so what we do is we always multiply. So 364 you multiply by 245. In one of the previous videos I have also told you that while multiplying numbers, it doesn't matter which number we keep on the first place, right? So I told you, I gave you the example, like if you write 6 into 2 or you change the order 2 into 6, the answer will always be same. 6 2s are 12, or you change it order to 6 are 12. So in multiplication, I'm talking about multiplication, okay? So in multiplication, it does not matter which number you keep on the first place and which number you keep on the second place. So when you will multiply, but it's always better to keep the bigger number up. So multiply these two numbers and you will get the answer. So 89,180 rupees is the price of 245 books. Class, now we start with the question. B part of the fifth question, they say the price of a toy means one toy is rupees 86. How many of these can a shopkeeper buy with rupees 3,000? So a shopkeeper is having 3,000 rupees and he has gone to buy toys, and the cost of one toy is 86, and they are asking you how many toys he can buy for the out of these rupees 3,000. So I can explain you this by giving you a small example. Suppose you have 50 rupees, आपके पास total is 50 rupees, and you go to the market to buy a chocolate, and the price of a chocolate is 5 rupees. एक chocolate का price है 5 rupees. So how many chocolates you will buy if you have 50 rupees? Yes. How many chocolates? You can buy 10 chocolates. So how many how this 10 has come? This 10 has come by dividing these two numbers. The amount you had, 50 rupees you had, अगर एक का प्राइस 5 रुपये है, so 50 you divide with 5, it means you can have 10 chocolates. So the same question is here, like the shopkeeper had 3,000 rupees and the price of one this toy is 86 rupees. So how many he can how many toys he can buy out of these 3,000 rupees? So what I will do is, the total amount he had, the total amount that he had has to be divided with the cost of one toy. The cost of one toy, both these you divide and you will get the number of toys. So the number of toys, how he can get, the total amount is having, which is 3,000 rupees, to divide with the cost of one toy. As in the example I told you, if you have 50 rupees and the cost of one chocolate is 5 rupees, so you divide them and you will get the number of chocolates that you can buy. The same, the shopkeeper had 3,000 rupees, and if he divides that with 86, he will get the number of toys. So let's do that. So 3,000 you divide with 86. So what you will get? You will get, so this is what he gets after dividing. It means 34 toys he can buy. So he can buy 34 toys and he will be left with 76 rupees. उसके पास 76 rupees बच जाएंगे. So he, how many times 3000 can be divided by 86? How many times 3000 can be divided by 86? 34 times. It means 34 toys he will buy, and this remainder 76 means he will be left with 76 rupees after buying 34 toys, and 76 rupees will be left with him. Now in the sixth question they are asking you, find the product of the greatest and the smallest three-digit numbers made with the digits 5 to 9. So they have given you the digits 5 to 9. So they are asking you find the product. I told you what is product. Product is when we multiply two numbers, the answer that we get, that is product. So in this they have given you only the digits and they are asking you to form the numbers yourself. Using these digits you have to form a greatest number and you have to form a smallest number. Now in the previous chapter I told you how to form the greatest number. So in order to find the greatest number we start with the greatest digit. So 9 is the greatest digit, 9, then comes 5, then comes 2. So this is the greatest number formed by using these digits. And what will be the smallest number? It will be 259. So I get the smallest number and I get the greatest number using these digits only. Now I have to find the product. Product means, in order to find the product, what I will do, these two numbers I will multiply. So I will multiply and the answer that you will get is the product. So this is how we will do the 6th A part. Now look at the 6th B part. Can you see? Okay. The greatest 4-digit number made with the digits 1092 is divided by the smallest 3-digit numbers made with 192. Find the quotient and the remainder. So find the quotient and remainder means, when do I get the quotient? Quotient means the answer that I get when we divide two numbers. So in this B part I have to divide. They have again given you the digits. First they have given you these digits 1092. They are saying the greatest 4-digit number made with the digits. So what will be the greatest number formed by using these digits? So greatest number, so I will start with the greatest digit 9210. So this is the number, greatest number I can form using these digits. So and they are saying is divided by the smallest 3-digit number using 192. So using these 192, what will be the smallest number? So I'll start with the smallest digit 1, then 2 and 9. So this is the smallest number formed of these three digits, and this is the greatest number formed. So what I have to do with both of them, I have to divide. They are saying the greatest number formed, the greatest 4-digit number made with the digits 1092, that is this number 9210, okay, is divided by the smallest 3-digit number formed by this digit. So that was 129. So it means I have to divide these two numbers and get the quotient and remainder. So when you will divide, what you will get, like 9210, you divide with 129. So by now you must have learned how to divide the bigger numbers. So 51. So here was 71. So what they are asking you to find the quotient. So quotient is 75, and what is the remainder? The remainder is 51.